Hello to everyone, this is Vishal and hope all are doing good. So today we have another topic of the day as you know that clean architecture be going on nowadays. And my previous tutorials I already described you in 3 tutorials what is the clean architectures, how we can do these approaches and how we can work with the layers, what is the domain layer and how we can integrate the things. And the latest tutorial I described you how we can implement the RxJava retrofit callings be there, how we can set the adapters be there. So that's be on the layers. But today I describe the things with the room because of if you see that many apps working with the local storage, and I already described what is room in my previous sessions, how we can implement within our database with the room and how we can fetch it from the RxJava. So those who are doing it or those in the beginning level working with it, just watch my previous tutorials of the room and then learn from that, and then come in this clean architecture with the layers. So as I told you on my last topic that I will describe to you the things within a small app discussion. So today I'm not giving you a small example, but I doing the practical with the app storage, how we can do these things and how we can implement this. It's not a complete app, but we discuss about some features of that. So first you can see that on my screen that how the MVVM approaches with the room. So here that I already described you, and this is with the, you can take this picture from the Android side. So here you can see that there be a DAO, SQLite, room database, entity. These all we have to manage, and we can fetch the things and save the things by the repository that I in each and every tutorial I described to you. You have to work with the repository, and up to repository these things you have to manage under the data layer. So I think these things be clear to you. So that means if some other person making this backend process, so up to repository he can handle the things, and your work for the design view you can fetch it from the things from the view model. And if you are doing the same, but this is very good to make it clean, so that means up to repository, that is your data layer, you have to put the things be there, and this is your view model up to UI controller. But if there is complexity, then you go with the interfaces or your callback methods with your domain layer. Otherwise, if you doing the simple approach, so no need, you just direct interact with your view model to repository. That's very good. And because of I'm discussing about the simple app, so we're working with the two layers. So here a very good example they given to you, that's be your word DAO. That means this is a word kind of model, and here we have a database, we have a DAO, and we have a SQLite interaction with that. Means we can insert and fetch it from the tables. And our work it, that means we have to make a repository and then interact with this DAO. And here up to these things your data layer be finished, and then our presentation layer we work with this repository here. So that means a word view model can interact with your word repository. So if you're using the domain layer, then you go with that. Otherwise, as I described you on my previous tutorial, otherwise you can fetch it on with the model view model to repository. But I'm not giving this example, that is very small. I already described to you these things on my previous tutorials. We discuss about some good features with my old app. Actually this old app was built it in my starting career time, and then I make it with the daily transactions budget, whatever be the we give the name to this, and that is we used SQLite DB Open Helper. So a lot of queries on that cases, and a very big app be there, and we did it we can say we work with the graphs also in that. So I don't go with these things, with these stuffs, we will work some other day. I just describe these app features with the fragments and with the data binding approaches, and also we work with our adapters, and we have to insert the records, we have to fetch the data. So a lot of stuffs be there with the room. So everything should be the room in the layers. So here you can see that there be four views: income view, expense view, category view, and the balance view. Whenever you save your income, there be some drop downs. So that means your cash type, your category type, and here we have expenses, your cash type, your category type. I will describe you what is category, which we have to manage, customize, make it customize. Here you can see that the income layer, recycler view, and here expense recycler view on the same fragment, and this is your balance. So you can check the balance on here. So that means that is the old UI. I don't go with the UI today. That is the old UI, and here we have simple recycler view for the income and there for expenses. And if we add something in income, it added here, and if we enter some expenses, it added here, and automatically this balance be you can see that updated. So these all stuffs we working with the room. And here there will be some fixed cache type. That means actually the analysis of the app is that if you have some income and you want to store by date, and which kind of cash type you using for that income. That means that is your cash, that is your check, that is your online payment, and that is other. So that is fixed, four fixed values be there. So as this is the spinner, and we work with the spinner adapter also today, and I will describe you how we can store the images in the room and retrieve it, and also we can use the art or drawable images directly. So both the ways I will show to you. And here you can see the category. That means your income amount be salary, somebody gifted you, and others. Or if you want to make your personal customized form, so you can add it and save it here on your manage category, so it retrieve it from the database as in the new spinner updations. And this is your date, we store it. So all these stuffs, when you get it, it comes in your recycler. That's it. So that's the app, and we discuss about, actually do not go with the depth in this app. I'm just discussing about the component. So today I'm taking this component cash type for the income and cash type for the expenses, and if we get a time I will make it for the categories also. So let us start it and then describe it one by one. So what we need a database, MVVM architectural layers, and RX Java data binding for the fragments, and the room we have to insert the image, and also we can fetch it from the R drawable. So both the ways we are working. Okay, so that's the simple discussion, and that we have to start the work here. So let us start it on Android Studio, so you learn that how we can use it. And those who are working with the room, first go with that my previous tutorial of the room and clean architecture, then come from this and then work on. Okay, so let us start in Android Studio. Here I've just simply used the bottom navigation view, in which I'm using the four fragments, and also a simple fragment transaction be here, and this we have to switch for a simple fragments whenever we use balance, income, expense, or category. So these be very easy. If you do not know, you just go for fragment tutorial and then learn. It's so easy, and I will upload it, and if you have any query related to the fragments, you can ask to me. Okay, and in your activity bottom navigation, here you can make a container in which you have to push your fragments or replace your fragments. That is our content, and this is the content, we push it here. Okay, so very easy. And the four fragments we have, I show to you, like this is your first sheet, this is the second one, here we have a income, this is the expense, and this is the category we have to manage. I'm not using any work on the UI, just very simple. I'm using just for knowledge of a room. I'm doing the programming at this time, and you learn. And this is as I described you, we have a DAO, SQLite, room database, and entities. So first we go for the entities. So for entities, that means we have a two layers be here. One is data, other is presentation. In the presentation, as we did on last time, we have the same adapter, presenter, view, and view model. And in the data, we have to work with the database, model, and remote. Under the remote, that is your repositories. So up to repository, you have to work with the data layer. So I have some models already I've created. If you do not know how to make the models for the room, you just go for my previous tutorial of the room. And one more time I will describe you. That is very simple model you have. On the model you have to put a entity name. That means this is your table name that you have to insert on the database. Okay. That is if you give the same name, you give the same name or different name, depends. Primary key I'm making auto generate true, as it is auto generate true, so it is integer kind. And this is the column info. We have to work with the column info. We give the name your columns. Okay, so first is automatically primary key. That means it's already with the column here. No need of the column info here. And as it is a auto generate true, though I'm not putting in the constructor. That means I'm just putting the cache name and cache image, so it insert the value and then increment automatically. And one more thing here, I'm putting the cache image as an order drawable dot image. I'm not using the byte stream. I will show to you in category type as in a byte stream, and here I'm showing to you order drawable image, how you can fetch it and retrieve it from the room. Both the ways we will discuss. Okay, and so easy it is. And okay, let's do it in fast. Models be ready. We have to go for the database. Database is okay, so first for the database we need a DAO. So I'm making a my daily book DAO, and this is in this we have to work with all queries, and before that you have to make it as a DAO. That is the most important. Okay, and this is your database, and this database what you have work and means we give the name to this my daily book database, and make it as an abstract, and we have to extend as in the room database. And here you say that this is our database, so this is the database, and we give the name. You have to put all the entities here, and if you want to update something or delete some entities, so you have either you can change your database name or you can change the version or migrate it. So it depends on whatever you requirement. So this is your category income dot class, category expense dot class, cache type income dot class, and cache type expense dot class. So easy. And you have to put your version is 1, and your export schema is your false, so our database ready. And here you call this DAO as your public abstract my daily book DAO. That's it. So our database work be fine. If you want to make a singleton, you can create instance each and every time, but I'm just at this time I'm just working with that diagram, so I can interact with each and every repository, because of here we have 2 or 3 repositories or 4 maximum. So later I will describe you how you can make a singleton and can fetch it. I think I already described to you on my previous tutorials of the room. Okay, so let us start the queries, and in this queries we have to work. First query is related to a cache type, so we have to select from cache type income, and here you have to make our income, that is your we have get back the things of the income in the form of list. At this time using the list of live data. On in my previous tutorial I already described the RX Java. I will describe you again how it work. And this is your cache type income, get income cache. So first query be ready, and also we have to insert the record be here. So that means whenever you work with your insert, you have to on conflict you give it as an on conflict strategy. At this time I'm replacing, and will show you how we can use the ignore also and what is the use of that. And we have to put void insert or cache, and here cache type income, cache type incomes. Okay, so that's be ready, and the rest of the copy paste will describe you just two things we have. So now if you go video entity, this is a database, this is a room database, this be ready, our local database storage. Now we have to work with the repository. So in the repository, what to do, you go for the remote, and I am giving the name to that repository is your cache income repository. We give the names as if somebody worked within your program, so he can easily get access the things. Okay, and here I'm using the private context, and here you can make the constructor with the context, and we have to get access the database. So that means my database. Okay, and this is your my, so this is the room dot, and this is the context comma, and what is your the class name of that kind of database we have to put it. So this is our what's the name of, yes, this is the class, and here the DB name you have to give. So I'm giving my daily book db1, and comma your, sorry, you just go for the build, fine, nothing else. So this is your database. That means once you make it, that is you have to create the instance if you have a singleton ways, and we have to insert the values for, so we have to make a public because we have to call from the model insert your cache income. Okay, so for this, as I described you that in this I'm using only few: cache, check, online, and other, these four. So that means it's better you can make a string or array list. So I'm make an array, private static, yeah, final. I think if we go for the array list, then it's good, or what? Okay, make it array. This is your cache, and cache names, and this is your new string, and here you give the cache names. Okay, so at this time I'm giving the cache check, and here I'm using the online and others. Simple. And just copy paste it and give the name as an images, because of at this time I showed you how you can directly use the integer images. So that is your integer kind of images, and here I'm using the r.drawable images. And this is the name cache. So just copy paste it. This is the check. I have some images on my drawable. So this is the online and this is your others. Okay, so that's be ready. And now here first we have to make it as an for int I is equals to 0 and I is less than your cache name dot length. I think this is the old approach, but I'm showing you each and everything so you can learn. And your cache name dot length we have. So here we have to put the cache type income, cache type income, and that is your new cache type income. And here I'm putting the cache names, and that is your I. So it can insert the values and we can fetch it. Well, I. Okay, and here we have a my daily DAO dot insert cache, and here you can cache type income, insert the values here. Okay, and then call this function from your view model, so we can insert the values. And how we can fetch the values, we have a private live data, we have a list, we have a cache types income, and list live data, new mutable live data. Yeah, we did many times. Okay, and here you can make a getter for this, and say list live data be as my daily book database DAO dot get income cache. So whenever you fetch the data, you can observe it with your cache type income. So it's very easy. That's your DAO be get access. Okay, so if you go for the diagram, what happened, we have all the things be ready. We have a room database entity DAO, our repository. Up to this, that means our data layer be completed. Now we have to work with the view model. This is completed for a single value. I have more values, just like many models for that, but I'm showing to you just how we can go for the cache type or category type. So that's very easy. And now this layer be completed. Now we move for the, because of as we know our programmer, we work with the only repository. To up to repository you have to work well, so anybody can get access these two methods and just get the things easily. Okay, so now we have to go for the presentation layer, and here we have to make a view model. Okay, so let's make a view model be here. That is your cache type income view model. That's extend the view model. Here we have a context, and here we have okay, first you have to create a constructor for this with a context, and here you can get access the things from the repository. So this is your cache type repository. We have to call that, and cache type repository is equals to new cache type repository context. So it's become so easy. Once repository be ready, you can do anything. So up to data layer you have to work and then make the values and get the values be easily. And here we have a live data because of we have to get access the things from repository. So this is our list, and this list be as in a cache type income, and this is your live data, easy. And list live data is equals to cache repository dot get live data. And also you have to insert the values, so make it a public. Okay, this also be a public because of you get access the things on your view. So the public void insert cache type. Okay, and here you just simply say cache income repository, and dot insert cache income, nothing else, very easy. And if you want to retrieve the methods also, you can make a getter for list values and just say the list live data be as a cache income repository dot get live data. So that's the way you can fetch the values and you can insert the values. So we have to go for the view, and inside income fragment we have, either you can use the data binding. I will show you data binding on the other fragment. First I will call this simple, it's very easy. So fragment income. So here the fragment income, and okay, no need of this, you just call the view model here. This is your private, and this is your cache type income view model, and this is okay. So that's the things, and here we have to implement the values be. So okay, first we have to insert the record. So if you directly insert it, it gives an error because of main thread is not working. Okay, so for this we need a rxjava completable dot from action new action. I already described these things to you, and then call it and insert the value and dot subscribe on schedulers. No need of this at this time, but we are using, but observe on is the most important at this time, so that main thread it works, and that is subscribe. So we can check that our database be inserted new completable observer, and once inserted you can dispose the things. Okay, so at this time I'm just choosing on complete, so we can check, or at this time using the toast, so it can show to me that that activity plus inserted. Just we have to check on the first time. Okay, uh, so let's see what happened. Once this record be inserted, we can fetch it. And also you have to install the DB browser. I already described you, that means you have to work with that DB browsers. Okay, so let's see that yeah, it show me that it is inserted, but how we can check that? You just go for a view and tool windows, and on the tool windows you have a device file explorer, so you can go for the data. This is your data, and here it's my app, my daily book. So my daily book, yeah, this is my daily book. And database, you can see that this is the DB created. You can save as whatever, wherever you want, and at this time I won't be on my desktop. And okay, just put it on my docs. Okay, I have to save it on my docs. Okay, and so here I have to open the database from desktop, my docs, and here my daily book. So you can see the data structure, all B tables be here. And if you go for the SQL select, you can check the things. Select start from cache type, income, and run this. So you can see all four values be here: cache, check, online, and others. Okay, so now we have to get the things as a spinner. So for this we need a adapter. So we have to work with the adapter. Sorry, what happened in it? Yeah, new Java class, and here you can say cache type adapter, cache income adapter. Okay, and here what to do for that adapter, as we doing, we need a spinner form. So we have to extend that a base adapter, at this time making the base adapter, and implement the methods. Very easy. I'm not doing at this time data binding, but on the second view I will show to you how you can work with the data binding. Each and everything I will explore. Either you work with the data binding or without data binding, it depends. And here I am using the private list, and that list we have to work with the cache type income, and that cache type income we have a cache type incomes. And here we have a get count. So okay, so first you have to create a constructor for this so we can get access. And here we have a get count, so we have to return our cache type incomes dot size, and here we have to return get item, so that is your cache type incomes dot get I. No need for the ID, and main work on this return view. So we can say that we have to make a view. So if you say if view is equals to null, what to do? You have to create a view as an layout inflator dot your from. This is our context, and that context we inflate our r dot layout, and alt enter, and we give the name to that layout be as whatever be as. At this time I have a spinner layout, and it's simple. And if you work with that comma, this is your view group, that is your parent, and you have to create as a false at this time. I think so easy. I'm working after a long period because of database data binding techniques make it easy, so simple view is a little bit okay. So let it your text view as a text view, and this is your view dot find view by id and r dot id dot what's the name of this spinner. We have a layout. Yes, we have a layout of the spinner. At this time I'm giving the id, it is a cache name, and this is your cache image. Okay, so I'm giving the cache name, and here it is a image view, that is your image view dot find view id r dot id dot image cache image. Okay, and that's to be ready, and we have to set the image. So that means your text view dot set text, and here we have to set text as a cache type. So what to do, we have to make a cache type income, and that is your cache type incomes dot get I, and here you have to push the values. So that means your text dot set text values be as an cache type income dot cache name, and here you can make it as an image view dot set image resource, because of we have a integer kind of things we are taking, so you have to use cache image. Okay, so that means it works like that, and here you can return your view. Okay, so that's a spinner adapter be ready, and then we have to work with an income fragment. Okay, so inside this view we have to call this and observe this. So here we have a cache model dot list data dot observe this comma new observer, so we can fetch these things. So here we need a adapter. So this is your adapter private what's the name of adapter, cache income adapter, and here cache income adapter is equals to new cache income adapter, and I think it is a get activity comma we have to put all the cache type incomes be there. Okay, and if you are doing the data binding, then you can get the things, and otherwise you have to set it okay in a spinner. So what's the spinner name is income fragment, so we have to go for the fragment income. Here we have a spinner that is one for the category and the other for the cache type. Okay, so what to do, income fragment, and here we have a spinner, simple spinner, otherwise we can use the other A7, Okay, so here you can use that. I will describe you how we can, on the other, how we can use the data bindings also, both the ways. So this is your spinner. I don't like these things because of when we work with the data binding, so we do not go with the view by ID. So, but at the same, I'm just showing to you just for work, and I will describe you how we can change this. Okay, so we can put this spinner dot set adapter cache income adapter. Okay, so let it be here. So yeah, you can see that adapter, but here you can see there's a duplicate entry, because of it inserted the record two times. So there we have a two solve values be here, that either you can insert it on the first time whenever your splash comes, and that means you do not want to insert again. And the other thing is, if we go in this fragment again, so we need do not want the duplicacy. So how to avoid the duplicacy? That's the main things, how we work with the room. So I will show you. So you come for you have to go for again on the data layer, on the model and cache type income. So here I want to do some changes, like I have to use indices. That's also be important, and you have to learn that sometimes it's important to work with this. And here you can say this is your index. So index be your value, and that value your cache name. So that means I do not want a duplicate record be here. Okay, and you have to make it like a unique, and unique, that is true. So once it becomes unique, and here on the DAO part, I don't want to replace, I want to ignore. Okay, so let's see. And here on repository, either you can change the version, or because of it already be created duplicate records, so I'm just changing the remote cache income repository, and there I'm giving the name to. I don't want to migrate it at this time, just show to you how we can insert the new records. So easy. So let's see. It take a time, just for a minute we have to wait. So whenever you back on this, it never be create a duplicate. So just go for the other fragment, and if it come in, you just see that it's be the same. So very interesting topic, and this is the cash check online and others. So now I have to work with the same for just copy paste for the expense. Now we have to work with the category, and let's start this category, how we can, but I'm doing with a little change. We have to insert the images into the tables and retrieve it. How we can do that? That's the main thing. We have to work with the room. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so now we have on a category, and I'm doing little change that as we use the fixed array values and our drawable values on that case. Now at this time I am using the byte array, and that we have to insert in the blob in a category, and then we can manage it. So that's I am giving all the tips that we have to work with this. And also in this case I am using the uh, data bindings on the fragments also. So that means you learn all the specs of doing the work, because of somebody want the data binding, somebody not. So I'm giving all info related to this. So this is not a, I'm not making a complete app. I'm just showing to you that's the necessary informations for you what we need it when we do the things. Okay, so the next is as we have done the cash type income, and now we have to go for cash type sorry, category income. So in this case little bit change in the table. This is the table name, same, and category ID auto generate, category name. But at this time, as we have to push the values in the form of blob, so that means we have a byte array. So image in the form of byte, and then we retrieve from the room. So that's the way. So many wants that how we can insert the image in a room and we can retrieve it as in a live data. So that's I will show to you. And at this time we have to manage the category as I described to you here. That means we have to add the category. So that means when we click here, and then we can edit the text with the category name, and the category image I can put it from somewhere, or if you want to upload it you can do the same. But at this time I'm using some image, and then we have to insert the value. So now for this this model be ready, we have to go for the DAO. So just copy paste that DAO, and here we need a category income, and here I'm giving the name of category, and this is your category. So this is your category income, category income. So we have to get the values as on the category income and insert the values, but little bit change as we have to use the edit text to insert the values and retrieve the values with the same like that spinner. So for that we have to go for the remote repository first. That's the first case. So here I'm making a category income repository. This is your private context, and context value be here, and just make the generate the constructor with the context. And here we have to get the values or insert the values. So what we do for that, this is the public void insert category, and or you want to make it that is income, but here we have to push the value as in a category form, because of here we do not have a fixed array value. So that means we have to insert it from the your view model, and that's our category income. And now here we have to call same as we did it in the repository, our my daily book. And at this time I'm doing all the different values, that means repository different kind of accessing. So I'm using again and again that database, but that's not good. You have to make a singleton class for that. I think I told you before. So that's you can use it, so you can just create the instance everywhere. Okay, so let's we have to insert the values. So that means my database dot dao dot insert category income. So that is our, and here we have to do we have to get back the things here. So that means private live data, this is your list, and this is your category income. List live data is equals to new table live data. Okay, you can use RxJava also. And here you have to generate the things as in the getter, and that getter comes be here, and this is your list live data and daily database DAO get income category. Okay, so everything be ready. Now we have to go for the model, view model. Okay, in this view model, what we have to do, we need a category view model that extends the view model. At this time, I'm giving showing to you very rare or a very little use of view model. There is a lot of things we have to do with the view model. I will describe you in my coming sessions. So this is your private context. It is context we using, and private. Okay, at this time just make a or generate a constructor with the context. So simple. And now we have to work with the view model. So that means your category income repository, this is your context, and this is the public void insert category income. So that's the important thing. And because as we get the values from the database, and so we have to insert the things be here. So what to do, that means here I'm using the income name, and that is your string category name. So easy. So here the important role is that we have resources, and from this we can get the image and make it as in a byte. So we have some few lines of code that is we are working always, that is drawable. If you already worked how we can make it as in a stream form. So get drawable r dot drawable and dot, at this time I'm using the cache the same image, or if you want to use the from your I mean from anywhere you can get access, that's you can use the same thing. And that's it, that's our drawable. Now we have to convert it into the bitmap, and bitmap be typecast into the bitmap drawable, and that is our drawable, and that get bitmap. Okay, so whenever you typecast in a bitmap, so that means if you have any drawable, you just first convert it into the bitmap. So that's the strategy of doing. And now you have to make it a byte output stream, as we are doing in a Java, and new byte output streams. It's a very important class, and you can send anything with this. So this is, at this time we have to compress that, and I have seen then some questions that there be some when you push the images you must use the sorry, here we have to use the bitmap dot what is the name, compress format dot, yes, png. If you're working with the jpg, so that means it makes your image as in the black on the background, but if you're using as in the png and 100%, and that's your byte stream, sorry, stream, so that's we work. Okay, so that is your bytes compression on that, and then again you have to form as we describe the byte form. So that's your bytes, because of our category model B as in the byte form for the image. Okay, and so that's be your stream dot to byte array, and then use that byte into your data. So that's your category, and here we have a category, set category name. This is your category name that comes from your view, and category name dot set category image we have to form of bytes. So that's the code you have to work. Either you can do it in your repository, or you can do it your view model. That means whenever you work with the code, it's very less, but you have to work with in your view model or repository, depends which kind of code it is. Okay, never you have to work with the view, and that's the clean architecture form. So that's important, and that's also been a MVVM approach if you already worked. So this is your insert category, and you can save that image on that case. Okay, and now if you want to retrieve it, so we retrieve it as in the live data. This is your list, this is your category income, list live data, and here you have to make generate a getter for this, so you can get the things be as in the list live data, and this is your, what's the repository, it is category repository dot get list live data. So easy. So that's the thing, we have to work with the category view model. Now this we have to handle this on our uh, manage category. That means we have a fragment of category fragment. Okay, so here we have a simple category fragment, and we have a spinners sorry, we have a button on that case. Let's see what is the diagram for this fragment category. Okay, so whenever we click it, add category, we have to use, so category fragment. Here I'm using simple alert dialog, as you know that a simple 3-4 line codings of alert dialog, in which whenever you click it, it just pop up it show, and then you can put the values as in edit text. That's very simple. So for that, first we have to create a presenter. So what we need, we need a presenter, and for presenter we need a data binding. Okay, so I will show to you the second way or second approach if you're using the presenter. So here I'm using a category presenter, and presenter always be as an interface, and if you want to use as an I mean you want to call it, So you can make multiple methods for a multiple presenters, but I'm doing single. So here we have a void call mm, 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 category. Or call, you can say insert category click. So that's the thing. So insert category click, so whenever you use that, so it means we have to work with the data binding. So data binding, we have a category fragments. So here you what to do, okay, here you use the layout. This is your data, and this is your variable. Okay, so here we have a variable presenter, and we need a category presenter. That's your layout, and here layout be closed, simple. And then use this presenter. So I told you, whenever you work with this, you just use the layout, and then what to do, yeah, you have to go for the presenter click, so that is the button, and here on click you say at brackets, that's your presenter dot, what's the value of category presenter, insert category click. Easy. So that's the binding form. So now we have to go for the fragment whenever we use this binding, but before that we have to rebuild it so we can see that our class on the fragment binding be there or not. Okay, it completed successfully, and yeah, so what to do, category fragment. So here we need a binding, so as I told you, so that means a private, we have to check that whether our category, yes, this is the fragment category binding be here. And here how we can use this in if you watch my previous tutorials of the fragment data binding, so you can see that it's very easy. And that is data binding util under the view, and that's your inflat, and this is the values, you just copy paste it. And one more thing you need it, that is your inflator here, which we have to inflate. Okay, and just no need of this, you just make the view be as fragment data binding dot get root. So it becomes so easy whenever you work with the fragment binding. Okay, and now we have to set the presenter, so you can say that fragment category binding dot set presenter new category presenter. So you can check the test the values, yes, you have to work, your toast be working or not, so that means working. So just easy of a presenter be here. Now once the presenter be ready, in our data binding of the category, those who want to work with the binding, this is for, this approach is for them. And now we have to call that category view model be here, Okay, and that category view model be like a new category view model, and then say get activity. So we can call that things, and here on insert click we have to call this dialog. If you do not know how to make this alert dialog, so you just, it's a very easy, you just google it, otherwise I will upload this talk, so you can copy it, it's on very easy. Okay, so this is your alert dialog, and when you call this dialog we have to insert the value. Okay, so for this fine, so that means here we get some input whenever we click on that, and we get some values on that, and then on during the run we have to insert these things. So this is your category view model dot, here you have to insert the data income as in a category. What's the name of above? That's a val. Okay, so here the same thing I have approached, that is completable. If there is no Android main thread, that means it gives you an error. So that's, I always told you, whenever you insert the values in your room, you always be throw it with the exception, and that's be on your RxJava approach. And one more thing, here I'm not using, but you have to dispose always. In my previous tutorials I told you that if you avoid the memory leaks, you always dispose the things. Okay, so that is your disposable D. Okay, now we have to check that whether it is insert or not. You run that and see what happens. So today we have to learn these two things, or two ways to do work, and on the next session I will access the things as an income and expenses we have to insert and retrieve on the recycler view. So you learn from the room on that case. And but today it's a long video, so just to work with a simple scenario of doing this. So as installing. Okay, so if you go for the manage, you can see that on add category I'm not using any, as I told you. This is the cache, and you can say yes. So on that, yeah, it show me that record inserted. So you can either use the DB browser and check it, and otherwise we can get access from the live data. So we'll see using the live data. So for that, that is on our income fragment, because of on income fragment we have a spinner. We have a two spinners, like yeah, this is a category type and a cache type. So cache type we have done, yes, we have done here now, I mean before that. And category, at this time we'll check it what happened. uh, hmm. Now we have to see that okay, so this is our fragment income. So on the fragment income we can check the name of the spinner. Yeah, it is the categories. So for this, one more thing we needed again one more adapter. So just copy paste that adapter. I'm not using, and I will describe you also. If you want to data binding in the adapter, that's very easy. You can go with my previous tutorials in which you can see that how we can do that adapter values. So these are category, income, adapter. Just copy paste the thing here only you have to use the category income here. Okay, rest of the things be fine. Yes, this is your, it showed to me that it is a category income, and here it is a get cash category name and get category image. So here, because of we have changed values, because of we never get it from the resources, we get it from the blob site. So how we can get access the things on here? So you can use that again, a single line of code. That is actually we are not doing any calculation, we just retrieve the data. If you want to work with the bitmap of repository or here, you can say that, but it depends on you. So here we can say that image view dot set image bitmap here. And so first we have to convert the coming get category image be as in the bitmap. So it's very easy, it is a single line of code. You can say that this is your bitmap, and that bitmap be as a bitmap factory dot you have to decode byte array, and that decode byte array be as in a category. Sorry, here we are giving the name because of we haven't changed that. So that get category image we can say, and that category image comma 0 offset, and category get image dot length. So that means up to that length we have to work, I mean 0 to size, so whatever be the length of the your byte array. Okay, so that's very easy. And now you have to create a scaled bitmap. So that means here you can say that this is your bitmap dot, you have to create scale bitmap and whatever you be the size. So that's your bitmap comma the size I am giving the 4040, and that is false. So that means a single line makes your conversion. Okay, either you can do it in repository also or a model also, but this is a single line and we just use it, we never do any calculations. If you do any calculations, so never use it in your adapter. Okay, so that is not a calculation, it just be a scaling conversion. Okay, so it depends it how much clean you work. This is the category income adapter. Now in a income fragment, we have a category spinner also. So we use this category spinner, that is spinner we have, and we have to set our adapter. Okay, so for this we have to call the private category view model here, just for check the values on the different fragment. So this is your category view model, new category view model get activity, and that activity you have to on the create view. So that is your category view model dot get live data dot observe this comma new observer we have, simple. And now you have to use that adapter, which is private category adapter, category income adapter. And here that means you have to insert the values in the adapter. So what to do? Category income adapter is in a new category income adapter, get activity or get context whatever be, and category incomes. And here your category spinner dot set adapter as in the category income adapter. So easy. So now we have to run this and check our data be here or not. Okay, it completed successfully. So let's see. Yes, so you can see that this is your cache, but as in a bitmap from the blob. Okay, and this comes from, as we did it, that is from r.drawable. So that means if you want to insert more, you can push it from your manage categories or add categories and then use it. So the rest thing is now for the income we can check the spinners also be here. Okay, and on the expenses, for expenses spinner also be here, and we can add it and manage it, and that reflection be on here. Either here you can see that for the income, and whenever you work with the cash type for the expenses, it comes free here. So that I will describe you on the next sessions how we can insert the things as an income and expense and retrieve it as in the recycler view from the room. So the main thing is it's I'm not completing, I again saying these things that I'm not making any app. I'm just showing to you the important task related to the apps, which is sometimes it's important, as I have seen in many Stack Overflow they have some troubles. So that's you can make it easy, and also we learned a few more queries on the room. So we'll discuss and motivate yourself to do something new in a life. Okay, so thank you so much, and for the next session I will describe you rest of the things because of this video is very long.